Hey guys, it's Friday, October 30th. The time is 5:09 p.m. and the temperature is around 3 degrees Celsius. I'm here in Christie Pits Park, which is located just to the west of Christie Street. And the plan for this walk is to turn left here onto Bloor Street West, and I'll walk through the Koreatown neighborhood, which is in between Christie Street and Bathurst Street. And then I think I'll explore some of the residential streets in the area and see if we can get a look at some Halloween decorations. And then I'm not really sure where the rest of this walk will take me. If it's still light out, I'm thinking I might want to head south down Palmerston Boulevard. As always, I'll put links to every street I hit in the description. And I probably already splashed a map onto the screen showing the route I actually ended up taking. I'm just waiting to cross the street here at Bloor Street. It seems as if every time I walk through this neighborhood, I'm on the north side of Bloor Street. But for this one, I'll stick to the south side, and then maybe I'll go north up Bathurst Street for a block or so, and then I'll loop back through some of the residential streets. This is certainly one of the coldest days we've had in quite a while. It's supposed to hit 0 degrees later tonight. This is the reopened Clinton's Bar here on the right. Looks like they have a rather interesting patio arrangement. There does seem to be a hint of good news for bars, restaurants, and cafes, as the Premier hinted that the recent restrictions that limit them to takeout and outdoor service only might be lifted shortly. I know those have had a rather devastating effect on a lot of these businesses. And with the colder weather coming, the idea of sitting on a patio outdoors isn't going to be so appealing to a lot of people. And this place here is a rock climbing gym. It used to be an adult cinema, but they too have been closed down as part of the recent restrictions. And here's PAT, which is a large Korean supermarket in the neighborhood. That actually used to be my local supermarket when I lived just around the street from Christie Station. And it looks like we have found ourselves a vlogger. She should probably look into getting a gimbal instead of just that selfie stick. I tried to peek on her screen and see if she was live streaming, so it would be kind of neat if there were more people doing that around Toronto. There goes a particularly cool gentleman in his Honda Prelude, it looked like. So while a lot of these restaurants are open, there doesn't seem to be a whole lot going on inside. And this street here is Palmerston Boulevard. And the neighborhood just to the south of here is known as Palmerston. It's got sort of these really nice iron gates. You'll find these in between here and College Street. I'm thinking of heading south down Palmerston once I loop around Koreatown a bit, as that's easily one of the nicest residential streets in the city. Another option would be to just keep going east through the Annex neighborhood. So this area on the right is known as Mervish Village. A lot of local businesses right here that were in this building were evicted, so they could proceed, my pronunciation is slipping again, proceed with construction of this large rental building complex they're building. I was kind of struggling for what word to call it. There used to be a really cool bar down there called Victory Cafe. And this is where Honest Ed's used to be located, a rather iconic, kind of a large discount store. It was on the corner of Bloor and Bathurst for the longest time. So this here is Bathurst Street. So just on the other side is where the Annex neighborhood would start. That's one of the more popular and interesting neighborhoods in downtown. I was kind of tempted to keep going east there through the Annex. That's Bathurst Station right there. Although the streetcars are currently not running along Bathurst. So rather than the 511 streetcar, you could catch the 511 bus. And to the north of this station, it's the number 7 bus, if I'm not mistaken, that you'd want to catch. And on the topic of the COVID restrictions being lifted a little bit, I think yesterday there were somewhere between 300 to 400 positive cases in Toronto and just over 800 in the province of Ontario. Those numbers seem to be fairly stable as of late. So this here is London Street. Maybe I'll take a left down here. I'm not seeing much in the way of Halloween decorations, but certainly some pretty fall colors. There's the Toronto EMS station, number 34. I couldn't tell you the name of this park. I haven't spotted a sign for it. Maybe it's just the park with no name. So this here is Palmerston Avenue. To the north of Bloor, it's Palmerston Avenue, but to the south, it's Palmerston Boulevard. Actually, I think just north of here, it's Palmerston Square. Oh, here we go. We found some Halloween decorations. Didn't really have the opportunity to scout out some of the more interesting streets in the city for decoration, so just thought I'd take a quick peek down this area to see if I could catch anything. There's a little ghost hanging from that porch area. And straight ahead is Palmerston Boulevard on the other side of Bloor. I think I'll just go straight and we'll take a tour of Palmerston, at least down to Harvard. There's a look west down Koreatown. This street in particular is one of the more affluent streets in this area. It's got these sort of distinct lampposts. I think there's 64 of them, if I'm not mistaken. I think I remember reading it's a bit of an older demographic on this street. As the University of Toronto is nearby, it's not uncommon for a lot of the houses in this area to be chopped up into multiple units. Or sort of repurposed as student housing or rooming houses. But I think Palmerston Boulevard is somewhat immune to that, as these are rather high value homes to begin with.
Yeah, right.
That really,
Maybe what I will do is circle back up to Bloor. I think this gives you a pretty good idea what Palmerston's like. It does continue south like this all the way to College. And that area is often referred to as Palmerston Little Italy. And this here is Markham Street. I will turn left here onto Bathurst. And then I'll just walk east for a bit through the Annex, and I think we'll wrap it up shortly after that. This is Lennox Street. I'm approaching. It's the second cool guy in their souped up sedan who's decided to hit the gas as they ride by. Whatever floats your boat, I guess. So this is Lennox Street. I'm just going to cross here over to the other side if the light ever decides to change. That right there is where Honest Ed's used to be located. I also recall there being a Bad Boy furniture store that was temporarily located along the side of Honest Ed's. There was also a fitness gym and a used record store that used to be on Bloor and The Annex. And then it relocated here, and now it's down at the south end of Chinatown on Spadina, I believe. There's a rather unfortunate sight. That's the Unicorn Cafe. And now it's back to walking east along Bloor Street.
Yo!
I might have to make that my dinner after this walk. And again, just like Koreatown, it seems every time I walk through this neighborhood, I've been on the north side of the street, so this time I'll just stick to the south end. New generation. I think they used to be on this side of the street, and that's Lee's Palace, which is a live music venue. And there's a club up top called the Dance Cave, I believe. That's one industry that's definitely been hit by this wave of restrictions. Bubba's Crispy Fried. Looks like Popeyes might have some competition. Americans might be confused by the sight of an EB Games. That brand is known as GameStop in the US. But here in Canada, it's still known as EB. It's kind of neat. And the owner of that bar, the Crafty Coyote, also owns the Victory Cafe across the street. Looks like they have a extensive patio being set up. Not to be confused with the Victory Cafe that used to be in Mervish Village. Same name, same owner, but a very different kind of establishment. That one is more of a pizza restaurant. It used to be a traditional bar. While the new one's not bad, it certainly has none of the charm that it used to have. Scotty's Caribbean Grill. You gotta wonder when they took that out, or that lease out. That very well could have been all planned before COVID. And here is Future Bakery, although the sign says Future Bistro. Maybe it changed its name. I'm not seeing heat lamps on that patio. This is Brunswick Avenue. And this is the old location of Tilt Arcade Bar. And Auntie Lucy's Burgers. Kind of drawn to how nice this street would be to take a stroll down, similar to Palmerston Boulevard. And here on the right is where the Brunswick House used to be. That was an icon of the Annex neighborhood. It was a rather large bar that kind of attracted the younger university crowd. And now, of course, it's a Rexall. With such a nice old building in a prominent location, it was bound to be a Rexall or a Shoppers or a bank. Starbucks seems to have a penchant for that type of property as well. That would have been the best of those options. That was B&B Books I just walked by. Since I'm just kind of making this walk up as I go, maybe I'll turn north up Madison Avenue, which is just to the east of Spadina up here. And we'll check out another rather nice, mostly residential street. And then I can circle back down to Spadina Station, or maybe I'll change my mind again. Even with dedicated bike lanes, people still see the need to illegally ride their bikes on the sidewalk. If you're under 14, that's okay. But there's really no excuse if you're not. And I was thinking at some point doing a Koreatown and Annex walk after midnight. So if a similar walk to this one appears on the channel at some point soon, that will be because that's one that I've sort of planned and have on the list of walks to do. Whereas this one I just sort of decided to make up. I literally just hopped on the subway without any plans. And Greg's Ice Cream has left us. And there was a shawarma restaurant as well. Greg's used to be located just across the street from the Royal Ontario Museum a long time ago. All right, I've got a little bit of time here to cross. That was Spadina Avenue I just crossed. Well, to the south, it's Spadina Avenue, and on the north side of Bloor, it's Spadina Road. I think she was trying to be the moon. And this is Madison Avenue.
So you could be like, hey.
I'm still in the Annex neighborhood. And just up here on the left is the Madison Avenue pub, which is extremely popular amongst the university age crowd. And they do have a rather large outdoors area, so I'd be curious to see if that's up and running right now.
What about you going to bed? Does that mean you have to go to bed earlier?
They've also got a rather large patio set up outside, but I don't see much in the way of heat lamps. Although that sign seems to indicate that they have them. Can't imagine there'll be many people out here drinking tonight. A lot of these homes would be a good fit to be portrayed as a fraternity. Although I don't think those are technically allowed in Canada. They certainly film a lot of American movies here. And this is Lowther Avenue. Rather than go west back towards Spadina Station, I'll just keep going east here and make my way to St. George Station. We've got some Halloween decorations at this house over here. Nothing too crazy, and they're a bit hard to see. The Lowther Suites, that's perhaps some kind of bed and breakfast. And this is Huron Street, so let's go south back down to Bloor. I don't know who Alpha Gam are. Some of these homes are absolutely stunning though. This is the Italian consulate. Some rather interesting art. I gotta stop telling you guys where I'm walking next, because it turns out I'm quite the fibber. This is Prince Arthur Avenue. I'm now on. We still seem to have good enough lighting to walk down these streets. This will be less of an issue in a week from now, as I should have a new camera in hand that'll have better low light capabilities. It'll also be a slightly wider angle lens. So I hope that adds up to a better experience. I was hoping we'd find some better Halloween decorations. I have come across some on one of my live streams though. Looks like there's some random white lumps posing as ghosts on that building. And this is St. George Street, and that would be the western entrance to St. George Station. And just to the north on this street is the Chinese consulate. And back to Bloor Street West, that is the Bata Shoe Museum there on the right. And some University of Toronto buildings on the left. And I think this is a good spot to wrap this one up. I do want to fire up a live stream tonight. So I'd like to thank you for this somewhat random tour through Koreatown and Palmerston Boulevard and the Annex neighborhoods. There are links to my Patreon account and Instagram accounts in the description, as well as a link to YouTube channel memberships on the main channel page if you wish to support the channel. Thanks again, and if you're watching this on the morning of the 31st, have yourself a great Halloween, and I will catch you on the next one.